Testing. So I watched this today, and wow, um, I'm gonna be going into hardcore spoilers on this. So as it says here, spoilers. So I mean, don't be upset or anything. Um, I just here. Let me put the other one back. I guess. So the last Fast and Furious. I don't know. It was it was just ridiculous. I mean, they were flying a Pontiac Fiero into space and just driving cars over submarines and everything. And I don't know. It was just goofy. But this one this one took the goofiness to a new level, man. I mean, if you've seen any Fast and Furious, then you've seen these ones. Seen this one. It's the same thing. They're just driving around, shooting harpoons, and twirling the car to make helicopters with harpoons fly around in a circle, and just it was just everything that was in all the other ones. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular compared to the put it this way, I haven't I've seen all this before. That's basically it. Now this movie, I have to warn you because like I said, I'm talking about spoilers. That this whole movie is just filler and a setup for the next movie, and that's one of the things that really pissed me off about this movie because all the other ones, when you watch it, you know, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This one is just setup after setup after setup after setup, and then I don't even know if I would call it a cliffhanger. So Charlize Theron shows up at Vin Diesel's house at the beginning, and she's all beat to hell, and Vin Diesel drags her and throws her on his couch, and then Michelle Rodriguez comes in and she puts a gun to her head, and they're like, "Oh, we should just cap her right now," and all this, and she's just like, "Oh, wait, you have to listen to my story," and all this, and then they're showing, I think it was either Fast Five or Six. It was when Paul Walker was alive, and they robbed this bank, and they're dragging this gigantic vault all over the fucking town. So they're showing that, and Jason Momoa is the son of that guy, and they just slice him in there, but you don't see him or whatever in Fast Five or Six. He's just cut into it in this one. So they're showing the whole scene of either Fast Five or Six when him and Paul Walker are taking the vault and driving around with it, and then Jason Momoa gets smacked with the vault, and he's all pissed off about it, and he's trying to get revenge and all of this stuff. And then they show him going to where Charlize Theron is, and there's like this big shootout between Charlene Theron's guards and him, and then he ends up winning over her, and then I can't remember how she got loose, like she got away somehow. Anyways, like I said, it's just this whole movie's just filler. So keep that in mind. I mean, It's just this whole movie is just a setup for what this movie should have been for the next one. So then they cut back to her at the house, and after they explain all that, and she's like, "Oh, this guy, he beat me and all this," and they're like, "Oh, boo-hoo, you're a bitch, and you shot my ex-girlfriend and all this," and it's like, "Oh, well, he's gonna come for you, and he's gonna get your kids and all this, and blah blah," and then it's just the same thing, all of it. It's okay. So then they show Paul Walker's girlfriend on there with the kid, and then sure enough, these guys are trying to get the kid, just like Charlize Theron told them, but they just screw up, and so they get the kid, and they're trying to get the kid, but then John Cena shows up and he gets the kid. Okay, so this was the part that kind of annoyed me because this whole I swear to you, it was like the producers of this movie saw Peacemaker and they told John Cena, just do Peacemaker with this kid. And I mean, it was just straight out of Peacemaker. I mean, the only thing they didn't do was put his helmet on. And he's in this car with Vin Diesel's grandkid or the sister's kid or whatever. And the whole movie, John Cena and that kid are doing a road trip to go meet them or whatever. So most of the movie, they cut back and John Cena and him are in the car listening to like 90s rappers and MC Hammer and all this like 90s crap and just being silly and stupid. And oh man, there's just, and then Jason Momoa starts messing with Vin Diesel and them, and first they do a car race, and the car race goes bad because Jason Momoa puts like landmines underneath their cars or something, but he didn't. This is the other irritating thing about this movie. It's like real life Looney Tunes. It's like Vin Diesel is the road runner, and he's always getting away, and Jason Momoa is always trying to get him. So he could have killed Vin Diesel at the car race, but no, we're just gonna fuck with him with these other two people. So during the race, this is the other thing is Jason Momoa. He's just over the top in this. It's like he's trying to do his Joker impression the whole movie. It just comes off like it just feels like a Joker impression. That's all I can tell you. Like he's always laughing and doing these weird things. Like when they're racing, he's got his head outside the car like a cartoon driving, and he's trying to have this conversation with Vin Diesel. And Vin's just looking over at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And Jason Momoa's got his hand out and he's going like, give me a high five, brother. This is awesome. And all this. And these cars are like blowing up all over the place in the race. And it's just ridiculous. So he didn't kill Vin Diesel then. And then the other car racer you find out is I don't remember her name, the blonde in the last one that got killed. She was like the CIA or special ops lady or whatever the hell. She was the one that she got gassed or in that plane or whatever. And oh no, she got shot in the head. She got shot in the head. That's what I forgot about that. And this one, it's her sister on there. So he finds out that's her sister, and then there's just so much setup in this movie. This whole movie is just a setup for another movie. Like, it's so stupid. Like, Why you would make a movie where the whole movie is a setup for another movie is beyond me. I don't understand it. So then Brie Larson shows up, and she's talking to Vin Diesel about Jason Momoa, and we're gonna do all this stuff, and he's trying to recruit him and all this, and he don't want to go with her, so he basically tells her to fuck off. And then we have the guy that plays Jack Reacher on here on the Amazon show. That fucking buff dude. And he's supposed to be replacing The Rock, I guess, because they show him at their little planning area. And Brie Larson comes back to him, and she's like, "Well, I couldn't get him, and all this." And it's like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll go get him now, and we're gonna go." And then they cut back. And see, there's so many like plot holes and subplots and setups, and I mean, so then we go back to Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez in there, and Charlize Theron's trying to recruit her after Brie Larson stabs her for no reason. It was fucking stupid. Like, I didn't get that at all. It's just another stupid thing. This is the other thing on here too, by the way. Jason Momoa has basically bought every single person in this movie, and it's very annoying. Like, nobody is except for like Vin Diesel and his little group of people, and I guess Scott Eastwood, but they don't show him hardly fuck all on this, are the good guys. All the good guys are like bought off. It's just so retarded. And you go through most of the movie where they're helping Vin Diesel doing all this stuff, and then they just turn on him instantly, and it's just the most like it's just so poorly done how they did this on there. So they're going in Rome, and they're trying to do some job, and then Jason Momoa finds out, and he starts fucking with them, and he puts this gigantic bomb thing in this truck that they're trying to get. And then this bomb thing gets loose, and it's this gigantic bowling ball thing. And it's like marbles on Twitch. Like, it's just this gigantic ball that's just like flying all over fucking Rome, hitting walls and bouncing and going here and going there. And it's like I don't know what you call it, like pinball or something. And it's just going all over the place. And Vin Diesel's trying to use his dodge and get it. Like, he's just like trying to guide it, basically. So we had 20 minutes, it seems like, of this fucking ball just going all over fucking Rome like a pinball. And then Vin Diesel manages to fly his car off a bridge and somehow hook on to some crane thing and get it to twirl with a gigantic piece of cement that goes in a circle and smacks the ball into the ocean. And then this gigantic ball bomb blows up. And they show here, I'm gonna find this picture. Yeah. It blows up, and then they cut to Jason Momoa just doing this. And he's just standing there doing this. So this guy spends the entire movie doing anything he can to kill Vin Diesel, but all he ends up doing is blowing up innocent people and bridges and towns. And like, I mean, Osama bin Laden has nothing on this fucking guy at this point, man. So after that, they cut back to John Cena on his road trip where he's babysitting that kid, and they go to some mine or something. Oh, they go to his safe house. That's what it was. They go to his safe house, and John Cena's safe house is in this mine. And as predicted, because every single person in this movie is working for Jason Momoa. Oh, what do you know? Jason Momoa sends 20,000 cars to go kill John Cena and take the kid. So John Cena has this car that shoots what I don't know what that was, propane tanks or something, torpedoes or something. I don't know what that was that car was shooting, but it's got some weird jerry rigged thing on it where it shoots like cannonballs out of pipes or something. So John Cena is just driving around pulling this lever on this car, shooting these bombs or whatever these things are out of it, and he's blowing up all these cars, like 5 to 10 cars at a time, and the kid's like all excited, and he's like, oh wow, this is cool, we're blowing shit up and all this. And John Cena's like, oh, don't cuss, you shouldn't cuss and all this. And so he's just blowing up all these cars, and then he gets away, and then there's like, out of the 200 cars, there's like, I don't know, 20 cars left chasing them still. So John Cena hauls ass out of there, and he gets on the freeway. And then Vin Diesel's in this C-130 gunship or something, and the guy from Reacher on there is like, oh, John Cena with your kid is on the freeway here, but we can't get down there and all this, and I can't drop you in there. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll just get in the car and fly out of there. He said anything about dropping me. I'll just fly out the back with the Charger and all this. So they drive the C-130 really low to the freeway, and then Vin Diesel flies the Dodge Charger out of there, landing on these two other cars. And then we have like, I don't know, 30 or I'd say maybe a half hour or so of this gigantic fight on this freeway. I don't know where that was, Brazil or somewhere. I don't know. I forget where it is, but they're and it's just the same thing you've seen. Cars flying all over the place. They bring helicopters in, and they're shooting these fucking hooks into them, and he just makes the car drift, and then the helicopters slam into each other, and it's just all the same shit you've seen before. It's just all the same shit. And then Jason Momoa, the Aquaman guy, he shows up. So John Cena had one role in this movie, and that was to keep the kid safe. So what does the kid do? So Jason Momoa is coming up upon John Cena and them. So he's got this car rig where he can set it to shoot forwards or backwards. So he sets it to shoot Jason Momoa and blow his car up, but the thing jams. And then the kid gets out. He's fucking around in there, and he gets it to work. But by the time he gets it to work, Jason Momoa just drives up there and grabs the kid out of the back of the car and puts him in. It's just so ridiculous. It's just over the top, just ridiculous. So now he's got Vin Diesel's grandkid or whatever, and he's hauling ass trying to catch up to Vin Diesel, and he hits the nitrous and he gets up there. And then all these other cars come out of nowhere, and they're just trying to blow him up, and it's the same thing. He's just grappling hooks and smashing helicopters and twirling and all of that, and just the same old bullshit you've seen in all the other ones. And then somehow he gets, can't remember if he gets on the other freeway. I think he gets on the other freeway, and he's trying to get back up where Jason Momoa is. And then he's got all these cars up his ass shooting Gatling guns or chain guns or whatever at him. And John Cena decides that he's going to fly his car against this side railing thing and make it fly over there and suicide himself and blow up all of these fucking cars. So Vin Diesel's like, "Don't do it, don't do it. We're gonna be okay. Don't do it." And then Vin Diesel starts getting hammered the car and everything, and then like a bullet almost hits the kid, and then John Cena is like, "Oh, I fucked up, and you're my brother, and all this bullshit, and I'm a piece of crap, but I'm gonna make things right now." And then he hits the side railing thing, and his car like flies over there where all of these cars are trying to kill Vin Diesel, and he lands and like this fucking massive explosion, man. It was like you would have thought a fucking Moab hit, man. Like even Vin Diesel had to hit the nitrous to get the fuck out of there because the explosion was so big. He told the kid, "Put your seatbelt on. We got to get the fuck out of here," because the explosion was so big. So they get out of there. And Vin Diesel thinks he's gotten away, and then he gets where this dam is. And then these two diesels come out. And Jason Momoa, okay, this is what I mean. The campiness and Jason Momoa doing his Joker impression, just laughing all the time. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. So Jason Momoa, when he puts the kid in his car, and it's a little bit after that, but he's got the kid in there, and when John Cena like suicides and does that flip thing, Jason Momoa, he's like laughing and he's like, "Oh well, one down, about 8 to go now. I got to take out your whole team, and that was awesome. Did you see that? That guy blew up and all this." And he looks over, and the kid's like terrified, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's not so funny for you, I guess. But to me, that was hilarious." And he's just laughing. And the kid's just like, "Dude, my fucking cousin just died. And you're like laughing about it." And it's just like, I don't know. It just comes off like, it just doesn't come off good. I don't know how else to put it. So, anyways, Vin Diesel's trapped on this bridge. And, Jason Momoa is like up on this like point somewhere nearby, and he's got this guy with the sniper rifle, and he goes to snipe him, and he's like, "No, don't do it." And I'm like, "Dude, you could kill him right now. Just have that guy snipe him." But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this Austin Powers routine where we're going to do an over elaborate thing to kill Vin Diesel. So the guy has control of these two diesels, and he makes both of the diesels run at him at the same time. And then he like centers the car to drive off the bridge where the dam is. So the two diesels, right when they're about to hit each other, he hits nitrous, Vin Diesel, and the car flies off, and then he lands going down the dam. Here, let me see if there's pictures of it. Doesn't look like it. Oh, I guess not. But so Vin Diesel's driving straight down the side of this dam, and he's going like, Jesus, it's got to be like, I don't know, like 100. He's got the thing full bore. He hit nitrous and everything, and all of this crap is falling down there. And they hit the bottom, and then he hits the nitrous again, and there's like I don't know, like a slope at the bottom. So they hit the slope, and the car kind of stalls a second, then it flies up, then he hits the nitrous, and then it flies up again and lands in this lake. So you're thinking like, this is the end of the movie. And then we cut back to Charlize Theron and what's her face, Michelle Rodriguez, and they're fighting, and then she decides to work for her, and it's just stupid shit. Oh, by the way, I forgot to I left out the funniest part of this. I forgot about this when they're fighting on the bridge. So there's this scene where it looks like Jason Momoa is going to get it, and they have him pinned on the bridge, and there's like this huge shootout and everything. And right when Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa start fighting, like they close in on each other, she comes from behind and she starts shooting these guys and all this. And then she gets up on top of this car, and Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa are like really fighting, man. And she's like trying to get a shot in on Jason Momoa, but they can't because they're fighting. And this helicopter, this helicopter it comes out of nowhere and it fucking snipes her. And she flies off the hood of this car. You don't see her. I don't know, for like 10 minutes because Vin Diesel and him are fighting, and then these guys come down, and Vin has to run off, and that Reacher guy's trying to like back him up, and he's shooting. And then Jason Momoa, the helicopter comes down, and he gets in it, and it's like shooting up the bridge, and Vin Diesel is just hiding, and then Jason Momoa takes off, and then they cut back to her, and he runs over to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna die, and I had him, and oh, we could have had him, and all this," and she's just talking all this shit. She's just fucking dying. Then I don't know. I think she might still be alive, but I don't know. It's very iffy if she's still alive because he has the CIA or that Spec Ops girl from the blonde, her sister. He has her take Brie Larson off, and he's like, "Get to a hospital." So, anyways, I totally forgot to talk about that scene. So, anyways, back at the end, Vin Diesel, when he jumps down there with the dodge off the dam and all that, and gets in the water, he swims up to there and gets out, and then here comes Ludacris and his whole crew and Han and all them in this I don't know, some other C1. I think it was the C-130 that the guy from Reacher had. And they're like, "Oh, we got your back, Dom, and we're dropping the cars in on you and all this." And he's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Get out of here." And then this is so ridiculous. The fucking guy, the guy from Reacher, they just show him on a mountaintop somewhere nearby, and he shoots this rocket launcher and blows up one of the engines on this plane, and then the plane crashes, and he says some snippy thing to Dom. I can't remember what it was, but it was just retarded. It was like everybody in this film is, but I wasn't sure what Brie Larson was doing too. I couldn't tell if she was bought off by Charlize Theron or what that was, because that was kind of a weird thing. Why she stabbed Michelle Rodriguez like that for no reason. But anyways, there's no real ending. Like Vince just like standing there, and then Jason Momoa is like, "Oh, haha, I got you now," and then he runs off like towards the tunnel, and it looks like he's getting ready to detonate the dam and blow the entire dam just to kill Vin Diesel. And then like Vin Diesel doesn't know what to do. Like he's just has this terrified look. And then that's it. That's the movie. I kid you not. They cut the credits. So we have a subplot that went nowhere with Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez for no reason, a bunch of wasted time. Oh, I forgot at the end too. Charlize Theron and her, they get out of the thing there because I guess they were like in Antarctica or somewhere, whoever this was doing this shit to them. And a submarine shows up. And guess who's in the submarine? Fucking Wonder Woman, the chick that plays Wonder Woman. So she's alive again. How the fuck is she alive? She fucking died. She got shot in the chest and flew off of that car on I don't remember which one she died on. I can't remember which one it was. She died on one of them and she flies off the car. You just see her like Han is screaming for her. But yeah, she opens the submarine up and she's standing there looking at Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez, and it goes nowhere. You're just like, well, what is this? So you have an entire movie that's a setup for another movie. I've never seen such a thing. I don't know. I just, when I think of Fast and Furious, I like the original one the best. The original one, they'll never top that. All of this crazy bullshit that they're doing, oh, it's just, well, at least they didn't go into space this time. Anyways, I don't know. That's my review of it. A lot of cheesiness, a lot of subplots that go nowhere. Jason Momoa blowing up towns like Looney Tunes, trying to kill the Roadrunner, and he keeps getting away. And then when he has the Roadrunner in his sights, no, I don't want to snipe him. I want to capture the kid and blow him up in part of a town. And just, I don't know. That I don't have anything else to say about this. I mean, I don't think I'd watch it again, to be honest. I mean, I like the first Fast and Furious, but this was just an entire movie that was just set up for another fucking movie. At least Brie Larson got shot. I hope she died. I hate Brie Larson. That was the funniest thing ever, man. She comes in like this badass, killing all these people, and then she just gets sniped, man. That fucking made me laugh. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.